Ani Bajo, Wasazo Nangkwe Nindichikas. My name is Sara Mai and welcome to episode 4 of the Community Diversity and Inclusion Strategy on Rogers TV. Today is all about priority number 3, which is Connect and Engage Londoners. Today we are going to hear from the chair of the priority, a volunteer and a city employee. I am here just outside of City Hall with Shobhita Sharma, who is the chair for Priority 3, Connect and Engage Londoners. How are you doing today, Shobhita?
Good, thank you so much, Sara Mai.
So you have been involved with the Community Diversity and Inclusion Strategy since before it was even a strategy. So can you tell us a little bit about how you got involved, why you got involved?
Absolutely. So I saw the call to become a part of this history-making group of 200 Londoners who were supposed to come together to start building what was going to be the Community Diversity and Inclusion Strategy. And as soon as I saw that application go up, I thought that this was a great opportunity for me to give back to the city that I call home. So I was born and raised in India, and I moved here when I was 18, and London has since been home. And this was one of those things that I really wanted to do, to be able to make an impact on the community that I call mine now. And so I decided to fill out an application, and I became a part of the group. And it was honestly like one of the ways that, like I said, it was a chance to give back. It was a chance to connect with like-minded Londoners to be able to move our city forward.
And so what was that process like for you? What did you feel was important to bring to the table?
Right. So honestly, it was one of the most collaborative processes that I've ever been through as a part of a group. It was amazing to see people come together and work together on the strategy that was going to make London more inclusive and make our community more welcoming for everyone. What I really liked about the group was that we were not just tackling one portion of inclusion and diversity. We were bringing multiple opinions, multiple views to the table, and that's what really attracted me about, that was what was really attractive to me about the group and about the process, and why I wanted to be involved in it. And this is why I continued to be involved in the process.
Yeah, so it makes sense, this collaboration, working with others, and then here you are, chair of Priority 3, which is Connect and Engage Londoners. So what does that all entail?
That's something that I bring to the table myself. Like, my day job is as a communications professional, and it's always been around communicating with other people and bringing together people. And so for me, it was important that I was able to bring those professional skills to this group as well. And then I went through the process of an election of becoming the chair of the Priority 3, which is Connect and Engage Londoners. And to me, it's so important that this is a priority that's part of the strategy, because I feel like there are so many groups in London that are working towards the same goal, but things are being done in silos. And there is a need for us to come together and collaborate on a much greater level. And essentially, this is what the priority is aiming to do. We're trying to connect and engage Londoners, celebrating community diversity, celebrating inclusion, and doing it together.
Awesome. So I want to hear a little bit more about the work that priority is doing after the break. Hello again, I'm here with Shobhita Sharma just outside of City Hall, discussing the Community Diversity and Inclusion Strategy, priority number 3, which is Connect and Engage Londoners. So what is this priority working on right now?
So actually, let me backtrack and tell you about the composition of this particular priority. I am so proud to chair this very, very engaged priority. With COVID hitting, we had to go to a virtual meeting system like everyone else in our working settings and in our communities. And this group has stepped up, and it's incredible to see people putting 2 hours of their time towards towards this priority, it just shows that Londoners are engaged, Londoners are committed to making sure that this priority is a success and this strategy is a success for London. So currently what we did was, just like other priorities for the strategy, we came together and as a group we picked 3 strategies to work on this year. We are looking at ways to celebrate Londoners who are contributing towards diversity and inclusion. We're also looking to make London more inclusive by connecting groups and identifying what the opportunities are to do so. We're really looking forward to working with a group of students in the coming months to be able to put together a guide, essentially, that will be available to the public to make their meetings more inclusive. So this guide will have tips and tricks for community groups to make sure that their meetings are as inclusive and as diverse as possible so that everybody feels welcomed at the table.
That's a great idea, because it's true, there's so many people that want to do this work, but they're just not sure how to start or how to even bring folks to the table. So that resource, I'm sure, will be really welcome amongst organizations.
Absolutely, and I think it's just simple tips and tricks that people can use in their own groups and in their own meetings to make people feel even more welcomed and even more part of the group that they belong to, or the meeting that they're participating in. So I'm really looking forward to that project, and I'm really looking forward to that guide.
Awesome. Is there anything else that you're looking forward to, either the entire outcome of CDIS or for this priority specifically?
Sara Mai, honestly, I think it's such a privilege to see the work that's being done behind the scenes to make sure that the strategy is on point, whether it's from our volunteers, obviously, the leadership table, the other chairs, and of course our amazing city staff that put so many hours into making sure that this very important work is being done in our community. And I think it's so important for Londoners to know that this is essentially an opportunity to be able to contribute to their own city. We're all Londoners. We should feel that this is important. This is important work for every one of us to be able to contribute to our community, to be able to contribute to making our city more welcoming. Everybody should feel safe at home. Everybody should feel like they're a part of the city that they call home. We're definitely not there in our community, and events in the past few months have definitely showed us that. And anything and everything that we can continue to do to make sure that we're taking the right steps, or we're at least going in the right direction to correcting that, is extremely important. And I'm excited to see that work being done in the community. That's what I'm looking forward to the most.
And so you do speak about this being an awesome opportunity for people to get engaged, to if you're looking to get involved with diversity, anti-racism work, CDIS is a great way at the municipal level to get involved. So how do people go about doing that?
Oh, absolutely. And with a 2-hour commitment every other month, I mean, obviously I understand with the pandemic, it's difficult and people's lives have changed, but it's 2 hours of your time that you can dedicate to making London a better place for everyone. I highly recommend you to go to london.ca to fill out an application form. Tell us a little bit more about yourself and which priority in CDIS you want to be a part of, and we'll go from there. And you're most welcome to join one of our priorities. Obviously, if you're interested in making sure that Londoners stay engaged and connected, join Priority 3. But like I said, joining any of the priorities on this strategy is going to be a very fulfilling opportunity for anyone that's looking to get some more exposure into the diversity and inclusion work that's being currently done at the City of London.
Well, thank you so much, Shobhita, for taking the time to talk to us about Community Diversity and Inclusion Strategy Priority number 3, Connect and Engage Londoners. We're going to take a short break now, and afterwards we're going to speak to an amazing volunteer who is a member of the Priority 3 working group. We're back with Mohamad Shabib, an amazing volunteer with the Community Diversity and Inclusion Strategy, priority number 3, Connect and Engage Londoners. How are you doing today,
I'm
Mohammed?
doing great, Sarah. How are you?
I'm great, thanks for asking. So tell us a little bit about yourself.
So my name is Mohamad Shabib. I'm Syrian and I came from Lebanon directly here to Canada. I have been here in Canada for 3 years now. I arrived on the 23rd of August 2017. And you know, when I first came here to Canada, I wanted to volunteer and give back to the community. I felt that I have a debt to pay back to Canada because being a Syrian refugee and I was sponsored to come here, I felt that I want to be engaged with the community, learn more about them, and just learn about the issues and being able to be part of it.
For sure. And so how did you come to London, to find London home?
So first, when I came here to Canada, I was in Guelph for 1 year, and because I have a family here, I kept going back and forth between Guelph and London. And I just said to myself one day, why don't I just move here to London, because I love it here. The city is beautiful, the community is bigger, there's a lot of more community that are Syrian, I could relate to, right, and talk to. Guelph was amazing, don't get me wrong, but I felt more that London is more similar to home for me personally. So, I started volunteering with the Cross Cultural Learning Center, CCLC, and I received an email that the City of London is looking for volunteers, and there was 5 priorities. I attended one of their meetings, and it was beautiful. I thought I want to be part of this, connect with the community and everything. And I started volunteering here, I guess 1 year ago, and there was 5 strategies to choose from, and I chose priority number 3 because it was about connecting people together. Being Syrian and coming here, you would feel that you're an outsider, that you're a newcomer. So I felt that I want to be part of the community and learn more about the Canadian culture and living here in general. I started by joining the meeting and thinking about the strategies and our way of approaching issues and connecting people. The 5 strategies were kind of similar to each other, but I found that connecting people would be the most important one, because after connecting people, if you want to find a job, if you want to find reconciliation, if you want to find so many things, beautiful things, you can find them when you connect people together. That's from my experience, being Syrian, living in Lebanon, and then coming here, living in Guelph, living in London. I felt that connecting people would be the most important thing that we can do. I started volunteering and it was an amazing experience. Your voice is being heard. You can think about strategies, you can brainstorm, you can make mistakes, you can learn from others, you can learn from yourself, and it has been an amazing experience for me so far.
Oh, I'm so glad to hear
Thank
that.
you, thank you.
So that's a little bit about how you got involved with the priority. So in terms of connecting and engaging Londoners, what are you most looking forward to about the work being done in that group?
Actually, I'm looking forward to connecting different organizations. When first people come here to Canada like me, I found no services. I wasn't able to even find the services. There was a lot of services, don't get me wrong, but I wasn't able to access these services and know about them and everything. So my goal was to make it easier for newcomers like myself, to people who are kind of isolated in the community, to be more engaged, to connect with more services. And I found that being working really well with the priority number 3.
Amazing. And so what would you say to other people to encourage them perhaps to either get involved with this priority or the other working groups?
Don't be afraid to ask. Ask anyone, ask your relatives, go online, search for available services, try to connect with them, try to volunteer, get out of your comfort zone, meet others, connect with others. You'd be able to be more involved with the community and feel that you're more at home. That's what I felt for me. The community here in London, again, is amazing, is beautiful, very welcoming, very generous people, very nice to talk to. So get involved as much as you can. You'd be able to find whatever you're looking for. If you're looking for a job, if you're looking just for friendship, connection. But being isolated is what I found, like the perfect recipe for being vulnerable, for being depressed, for being maybe more susceptible to addiction or other stuff. So just connect with others. When I connected with others, I found that addiction here in London or like in Canada in general is a big thing. And so I found the Georgian College program and I started signing up. And it has been an amazing experience. Once you learn about the community, what's their issue, what's their concerns, you'll be able to do something.
I love that because you're thinking about connecting and engaging
Absolutely,
all Londoners,
absolutely.
Including those that are vulnerable populations, and that's really important because I think a lot of people sometimes forget about those folks when doing this kind of work. So
Absolutely.
can you walk us through a meeting and just kind of what the work of a volunteer looks like?
Sure. So when I first started volunteering here, we were choosing the 5 strategies, and we narrowed it down from many other strategies. And meetings in general are about brainstorming, finding your goals, and like thinking with other group members what tasks do we have and what can we focus on. Each group member would say, well, you know what, I can do this task. You can just set a deadline for it and I'll do it. Let's say connect the City of London with another organization, with a CCLC or any other organization, right? So you'd have that task done with a certain number of time, and we go from there.
And so in terms of the strategy number 3, connect and engage Londoners, what are we trying to achieve in that priority?
Well, as the name kind of speaks for itself, we're trying to connect people together. We're trying to have them being engaged together more. I kind of noticed here in Canada that it's a little bit harder to talk to people, to approach to people than for us back home in Lebanon or Syria. Maybe it's because I'm coming from a different background or culture, but in general, being able to have a conversation with other group members is really beneficial. I mean, I could speak for hours about the benefits of that, but overall, this is our target, and we do that through different approaches, different strategies. That's why we sit down in each session, we brainstorm. With the COVID, we've been doing it online most of the time, Zoom meetings, and we just brainstorm, find what we want to do, how we can do it, and assign the task, and we go from there.
Awesome. And so Londoners can go to london.ca to find out more information about how to join. There are 5 priorities. If you're like Mohammed and you really want to connect and engage Londoners, then priority number 3 is the way to go.
Is the one for you.
Thank you so much
Thank
for
you. Thank you so much for having me.
Yeah,
Thanks,
for
Sarah.
sure. Miigwech, thank you. Inojevwe. And how do you say thank you?
In Arabic, we would say shukran.
Shukran?
Yeah.
Shukran, Mohammed.
You're very welcome, Sarah.
Hey there, we're here with Kinga Koltun, who works for the City of London and has been organizing all of the community diversity and inclusion strategy meetings, organized this whole Rogers TV, kind of a jack of all trades in this kind of work. How are you doing today, Kinga?
I'm good, how are you?
I'm pretty good. So I'm just wondering, how did you come to get involved with the CDIS?
So actually how I came about working on the CDIS was when I started working at the city back in 2016, and when we were initially starting the work of engaging Londoners and creating the strategy. So I've been working on CDIS ever since we were just brainstorming the strategy and then engaging with Londoners, putting the whole strategy together, and now we're here in the implementation.
And so how do you draw meaning from this kind of work? Because community diversity and inclusion is very personal for a lot of people. I know you are a city employee, but what does this work mean to you?
So I've started working on the community diversity inclusion strategy when we were initially just starting to think about how is it going to look like. So back in 2016, I was hired to work at the city. And then I've worked ever since the engagement stages with Londoners, the creation of the strategy. Now we're in the implementation. I also see, as I'm watching in the background, a common theme through this episode. I am an immigrant myself. I came to Canada back in 2004 as a youngster, and I think for me this work is a lot about giving back to the community. As a Londoner, I've experienced a lot of support in the community and a lot of welcoming, so I feel like now it's my chance to kind of give back and show what I can do as a, as a city employee, and creating a space where people do feel included and their opinions and their views and their experiences are valued, and where they can put trust in us to kind of say what they need to say and do what they need to do to create a better community.
Amazing. And so, having been involved with this work from the beginning, and now we're at the implementation stage, how does that feel, and what are you looking forward to?
I think this has been a really long journey, but a really enlightening journey for me as well. I've learned a lot about myself and a lot about the community, and how much passion and resilience there is within the community, and how much good there is within the community, and how Londoners really want to make a difference, and how these issues are playing such a big role in their everyday lives. So seeing from just Londoners sharing their stories and why they think this strategy is important, and why we should have all these strategies within the CDIS, to kind of seeing how can we all work together now to kind of bring it all to life and kind of make an impact that is not going to just fizzle out overnight, but like be lasting over years. And I think like the biggest learning was how much commitment Londoners have. Like the Londoners that are involved in this have experienced so much, have gone through so much, like coming from a different country, or experienced racism and oppression, everyday lives. But it's not stopping them, it's kind of fueling them to come and be together and make a difference. And it's either to make something better for their family or their kids, or just making a better life for everybody in London.
We are so lucky to have you at I mean, I guess we're all leading this in different ways, but you're the mastermind orchestrating behind the scenes. So Chimi Gwech Kinga for all your work that you do for CDIS.
Thank you. And I really want to say a big thank you to everybody that's been involved. And I think like without the volunteers and the power and the brains and the passion from them, this wouldn't have been possible, because it is a truly community strategy.
That's it for episode 4 of the Rogers TV special on community diversity and inclusion. On the next episode, we're going to be looking at priority 4, which is remove accessibility barriers to services, information, and spaces. My name is Sara Mai Chitty, and I hope you're feeling very inspired about the conversations that we had today with Shobhita, Mohammed, and Kinga. I guess for me, when it comes to connecting and engaging Londoners, I'd just like to leave you with this last thought. Thinking about Anishinaabe teachings about relationships and kinship, connecting and engaging Londoners, for me, I urge all of you to think about your relationships to each other, to newcomers, to the city, to the land, to the river. And if you want to get involved with the community diversity and inclusion strategy, be sure to go to london.ca and fill out an application, because we would genuinely love to have you.